Hello everyone, I'm excited you joined my course. I'm Bobby Dyer, Technology Integrator for Brevard Public Schools. I really wanted to jump right into some usable information for you in week one. This is a self-paced course, so you can feel free to complete this in a week, complete this in 2 weeks, complete this in 2 months. But weekly I'm going to upload some new assignments and things for you to look over. And ultimately I just want you to have a little bit of fun and relieve some stress each week. This shouldn't be a difficult course, and anytime you need information or have clarifying questions, feel free to reach out to me. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first application that I want to show you, and it is a Google application itself, is going to be Google My Maps. So let's start off with how we can get into that application. So here you can see I'm in my Launchpad right now. We're going to go to Google Apps Share, which of course will log you into your Google Drive for the day. And now we want to make a new version of this Google My Map. So I'm going to click on New. And if I go down to the More section, I can click on Google My Maps. Okay, so let's talk about Google My Maps a little bit. You can see it basically looks like the well-known Google Maps, which you might have on your cell phones, on your tablets, and you might even utilize on your computer as well. Basically, Google My Maps allows you to manipulate a map and make it your own. So you can set custom pinpoints on the map, you can measure distances, you can have layers of multiple maps at the same time. And you can include writing tasks within there. So this is where I kind of made this a more educational thing to go along with some of my mapping standards in elementary school. So there is a nice little written piece. If you're a photography teacher, you can add custom pinpoints that include images you've taken. There's just a lot of different ways we can tie this into various courses. So I think everyone, whether you're elementary or secondary, will really enjoy this tool. So let's dive in a little bit. So first off, we have a map here. It's untitled, so let's go ahead and give it a title. So my whole course is about getting back out into the world and breaking out of the classroom. So let's call this On the Road Again. And we can give this a description. So again, if I'm going to be presenting this in the class to my friends as a student, I will say, this is my road map to fun. Sounds good to me. And click Save. Okay, now that we have our map named and we have a description, you can see there's some different things here. So we have layers. So this is basically if we have multiple steps to this map. Like maybe you're going on a road trip and you want to map out week one of your road trip, and then you want to map out week two as a separate layer. This is where we would do that. So let's go ahead and stick with that idea, and I'll click on Untitled Layer, and I will call this week one. And just for posterity's sake, let's go ahead and add a second layer so you can see we can do that. We're going to click on Untitled Layer, and we'll call this one week two. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and uncheck week two for now, and let's just work on our week one. So the premise here and the main driving factor is going to be the search bar. So if I want students to break out of the classroom, one thing I would do as a beginning of the year activity with my 5th graders before I became a literacy coach was to have them map out their summer. Where did they go? What did they do? What was exciting? For those kids that didn't do anything too exciting over the summer or wanted to be more creative, they could maybe make a European trip. Where would I go if I could go anywhere in the world? Right now during the pandemic and COVID, of course, we all just want to get out of the house, out of school, out in general. So this could be very, very open and very, very loose. You can give any parameters you want. But of course, if you're reading a specific novel in class, you could have them visit all those sites and write about them, drop pinpoints and things like that. So again, this is a very open tool, very loose. I'm going to kind of just dive in and show you all the buttons, show you how everything works, and then let you get creative and explore from there. So first off, I want to get on the road again. So in week one of my little road trip, I want to go to Burger Inn, which is in, and you can see here's my list right here. It shows me everything that's in Google Maps. Burger Inn, which is in Melbourne, Florida. I am a burger aficionado, and I just love to eat in general. So I'm going to go to Burger Inn as one of my first stops. So what I need to do to get this on my map now is click Add to Map. And so you can see it's kind of got a different color here. It's not green anymore, it's now blue. And if you look under week one, I can now see that Burger Inn is under my week one right here. So what do I do with this pinpoint now? This is where the program gets a little more exciting. So the style of the pinpoint, I can be very general and I can just make it green. I can change to various different colors. We got purple over here. This could follow along with your layers. You could have pinpoints that are all purple, say for your week 1, and then for week 2, you might have red dots. So that way it's a little bit easier for you to see, okay, this is where I'm going in week 1 and this is going week 2 if they're all together. So I'll show you that a little bit later. We'll turn on both layers. You also have icons that you can add here. So here we have a home. We have an eating establishment, which is perfect. We have a bed, which you would probably use for a hotel. So these are just some quick options here, but there's more icons, and there's, I would assume, I'll call this hundreds of different icons that you can choose from right here. They do have it broken down into shapes, sports and recreation, places. Again, I can see burger right here, which is pretty perfect for me. Transportation, crisis. You can see police officers and things like that. Weather. Pretty cool little tools in here. And then finally, they even have an animals tab right down here at the bottom. Perfect little doggy. Okay, so I have my custom icon. I choose the burger. You can kind of see it in the background over here. I will click OK. Now, again, on the more icons tab, if you don't have what you want, or if you want to be creative, let's do a custom icon. So you can upload an image. You can see right here, select a file from your device. If you know an image URL from the internet, you can select it or type it here. Your photos, I can include one from my photos. So this is the only photo that I have on my Google Drive currently, and that's a picture of Beauregard, my French bulldog. And then you can see a little bit deeper dive of your Google Drive here, or you can go to a Google image search. So since I'm going to Burger Inn, I'm going to see if they have any images out there on the web. So let me make it a little bit more specific and type in Melbourne. Click search, and perfect. I can see a great image of Burger Inn right here. So I'm going to click select. You can see my custom icon has changed. And right there, you can see my little Burger Inn icon. So a lot of different tools. We can have pinpoints that are just a color. We can have icons that are generated by Google, or we can make our own. So this is where your kids can go in and have a little bit of fun and get some of their morning jitters out. So we've done our style. Now on the edit tab right here, this is where we can change the name of this actual, sorry, I'm zooming my screen out here so we can see the entire box a little bit better. Let me drag this. There we go. See, the search bar is a little bit in the way here. So we can change this from Burger Inn to anything else at this point. But again, I want it to be Burger Inn because that's where I said I'm going. If I want to add a description here, this is where, as an ELA teacher, I would have my students basically write a 5-paragraph essay utilizing these boxes right here. So instead of one essay that's going to be on a piece of paper or on a Google Doc, I might have 1 paragraph per point on the map. So it's going to be broken up a little bit, and it's not going to be your standard 5-paragraph essay, but the students are still getting their writing in, and they're writing about things that they enjoy and things that they're seeing fun images of, and they're utilizing a map at the same time. So we're bringing in a lot of different materials, utilizing a lot of different standards, and having some fun along the way. So here for on the road, again, I'll say why I want to go to Burger Inn. I would love to return to Burger Inn for a hot, need to watch my spelling here, hot dog and a single cheese burger. Milk, let's make sure we capitalize here. Milk shakes are great too. Okay, and so there's my little writing that I did. So again, for my students back in the day, I would make them write a paragraph here. You could technically have them write 5 paragraphs, 20 paragraphs, whatever you want right here. I do not believe there's a limit, or I've never run into it at least. And I'm going to go ahead and click save. And so now you can see I have that title Burger Inn that I input before. I now have this description, and then I can see my little pinpoint on the map. Okay, and so right here, if I want to make it a little bit more exciting, after the edit tool, we have this add image. So this is when it comes to presenting these Google My Maps. These images are going to make them a little bit more exciting. So I'm going to do a Google image search again. Let's include some more Burger Inn Melbourne photos. So let's go ahead and utilize this one here, which shows the outside patio. I'll click select. And now you can see I have an image right here of Burger Inn. I'm going to go ahead and save that. So now it's starting to be a little bit more exciting. I have my title, I have an image that I've chosen, and then I have my little description that I wrote. So this is really my map now. Google My Maps is basically that. Let's add one more image just so you can see how that works out. Again, it pops me right up to my Google image search, and let's include a picture of the food. So it looks like somebody took a picture of their burger here. I would like a bite of that. Click select, and we will click save. And I made a mistake somewhere along the way. So again, trial and error. Let's do this again. Let's choose a different one just in case it was that image that had a problem. Let's click select. There we go. Okay, so somewhere in there I made a little problem, but happy problems, happy fixes, easy. All right, so here we have a burger. We are going to click save. And now you can see I have a 2 out of 2. So 1 and 2. So again, we have a title, we have pictures, we have description. This is getting exciting. Over here, we can put directions. So if this is a real map that you choose to use out on the road, you can actually plan out your directions and how to get there from your various points on the map. We don't need that for our students or for today's task, so I'm just going to leave that alone. And then if you're done with this pinpoint on the map, you don't want to see it anymore, you have your delete function right here. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one. And now let me just zoom out my map a little bit. Oh, that is not the right combination of buttons. Let's try that one more time. That is definitely not the right combination of buttons. So let's use Google's Maps feature right here. I will go ahead and zoom out using their little plus and minus right here. And you can see my pinpoint is still on the map. My image gets a little bit bigger as I zoom out. But it's very, very easy to see that this is my Burger Inn. And now I'm in the center of Florida here. If I just click on it, my Burger Inn is going to pop up. And again, I'm under the search bar, so I'll move that out of the way. I see Burger Inn, I see my images, and I see my description right here. So really, really cool. I'll go ahead and close that down. Let's go ahead and do one more for week 1. And so this will just give you guys some practice and kind of help you remember how to utilize this. So let's say we want to go to SeaWorld. Let's see, SeaWorld Orlando. Perfect. I'm going to drag my screen a little bit so I can see the whole box. There we go. I have SeaWorld Orlando. I will leave that title because I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and click Add to Map. And now let's go through the tools again. So on the popular icons, I don't really see anything that shows off a theme park or any mammals. So let's maybe go to animals. Okay, it looks like we have a dolphin right here. So that seems perfect. Let's click OK. And I believe I can change the color of the background of that dolphin image. So here's a green one, but of course I want something a little bit more blue. So there's my SeaWorld Orlando dolphin. I will close out here. And again, look over on the side here. We have my SeaWorld Orlando dolphin and I have my Burger Inn, both within week 1. So let's add a little description. I like SeaWorld Orlando as the title. I'm not going to change that. I love to see all of the amazing wildlife at this park. I can't wait to return. Let's put a smiley face in. Having a little fun. Okay, so we have our title, we have our description, we've done our edit. Let's go in and add some images. We do not want Burger Inn anymore. So let's go back up to our Google search and let's type in SeaWorld Orlando. Click search. And here we have some ride images, things like that. Okay, here's a cool one of some orcas. Let's click select. And there we have our orca image right there. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and click save. And just for posterity's sake, let's go ahead and add one more image. Let's add an image of, oh, this is a cool little logo on one of the rides. We'll click select. 2 of 2. I'm happy with the title. I'm happy with the image. I will click save. And there we go. We're starting to look pretty good. So this is it. It's a really, really easy program. Again, I'll close this out. Let me use my minimize and maximize that are within Google since my touchpad does not want to zoom out correctly. And as we zoom out, we can now start to see, maybe a little bit too far. We can now see that we have a on the road again, Where do I want to go? Where do I want to have some excitement? COVID's over, pandemic's over. Let's have some fun. Now I have some pinpoints on a map, and this is going to be my week 1 little road trip. I'm going to go to Burger Inn. Let's move my map around. And then I'm going to go to SeaWorld Orlando. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I told you we can do a week 2. So again, let's say this is Christmas break. Week 1, we're going to go on this trip. Let's start taking a look at week 2. And now I don't want my week 1 kind of clouding up the screen anymore. So I can click on this little checkbox and I'll turn that off for now. Once we get into presenting it and previewing it, we'll come back and take a look again. So let's search for a new place. So I've been to SeaWorld. Let's go ahead and go to Disney World. Orlando, Florida, of course. All right. So we have our, again, let's drag so our point's not in the center of the screen. Walt Disney World Resort. I'm probably going to change that title, but let's go ahead and add it to map. I want to go ahead and change that title while I'm thinking of it. So me as a Florida boy, it's just simply Disney World. Now for our description, let's go ahead and say, I absolutely, that does not seem right. Absolutely love the rides at Disney World. My wife and I were engaged here. Fun fact about Mr. Dyer. All right, so I have a title. I have a quick little description. I'm going to click save. Let's go ahead and change our style of our pin here. Let's take a look at the more icons and see what you have. I've already showed you guys how to do the icons. I've showed you the color. I've shown you creating custom icons. See if there's anything in here like a theme park. Let's type in theme as a search. No. Let's try ride. Maybe not. Park. There we go. Okay, so we have parks. Okay, so they're calling it an amusement park. So under places here, you can see when I highlight this little Ferris wheel, they have amusement park. So my vocabulary was not very strong. So I'll click OK. I think I already have a blue point somewhere on the map. So let's make this one. Let's make it like a Space Mountain gray. Very nice. All right, we're good with our little logo. Let's add some images. So old Walt Disney would not be happy about me searching SeaWorld before this. So let's type in Disney World Orlando. Cool, perfect. Picture of the castle, select, castle's in, I'll click save. Okay, pretty happy with that. We have everything we need. Let's double check. We have a title, we have an image, and we have a description. Happy, happy, joy, joy. I'll close that down. Let's just minimize out so again we can kind of see what this looks like on the Central Florida map. Perfect. So week 2, let's just be kind of fair here and let's put in one more point for our week 2. Again, I think this gives you all a little bit of opportunity to see how this works. So let's type in, let's go somewhere else to eat. Somewhere else to eat would be nice. I like Brick House, Tavern and Tap. Ooh, this one's in Tampa, so we're going to go on a little bit of a drive. But that's fine with me. So let's click Add to Map. Perfect. Let's see. Let's go back and try to find an actual custom icon again by Google search. And Brick House. This might be a little bit of a stretch. Cool. All right, we did find it. Perfect. So I'm going to click Select. And I'll click OK. And we can see our little brick house image here. And we can see it over on our week 2 layer right here as well. So I'm happy with that one. Let's close out our icon menu. And let's do our edit so we can talk about brick house. I love the chicken and waffles here. Great after hours spot. And let's do a winky face. Save. All right. Only thing we need to do is let's go ahead and add an image. So I'm just going to type in, again, I want chicken and waffles. So let's say chicken and waffles. Search. Beautiful. I really want chicken and waffles now. So I'm going to click select. There we go. We have our image. So let me go ahead. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's scroll up and get rid of this actual box here. And let's keep zooming out so we can see our week 2. All right, so here's what I talked about a little bit earlier. This is where the layers come into effect. So right now we're looking at week 2, which is only going to be our Disney World Orlando and our Brickhouse Tap and Tavern. Okay, I want to go ahead and show my entire little road trip, which is 2 weeks. So I'll click week 2. Let me close out my Brickhouse Tap and Tavern. And I can see all of my icons here in one place for my whole entire trip. So here we can see over here I have Burger Inn. Let me click on the map to get that to go away. Here we have SeaWorld Orlando. Here we have Disney World. And we're going to finish up with Brickhouse Tap and Tavern. So if I wanted to just see one of those again, here's my week 2 only. Let me get rid of week 2. And here's my week 1. So really, really cool little stuff. Now, all of our students have made these maps. They're ready to showcase them and present them. There is a share option here. So if you're one of those teachers that is really big into Google Drive and you just have students share things with you, they can type in your name right here, dyer.robert@learn.brevardschools.org. If you're elementary, or if you're a secondary, you'll type in your share right here. Or you could have them upload it to a classroom just as a document from the Google Drive, and I'll show you that just a second. But let's go ahead and look at the preview mode. So I always had my kids come up. It took a little bit of time, maybe 2 or 3 minutes per kid, but this was something fun for them. And again, this was a writing task, so it was meaningful, and I wanted to see their writing and hear how they read it. So here's a preview mode, which makes it a little bit more exciting looking, a little bit more official. And right here, we can see all our pinpoints on the map. So I can see right here, Brickhouse Tap and Tavern, and it cleans it up and it makes it look a little bit more like an actual Google search. Like, here's my image, here's my title, and here's my little description. This looks like I'm in Google right now, searching for actual businesses that created these posts. Right here, here's my Disney World. So I have a great image, I have my title, and then here's my description. Go to SeaWorld. I have images, I have my title, my description, and then finally, I have Burger Inn, title, description. So this makes it look a little bit nicer. It's a little bit cleaner. And your students can simply just scroll through these and talk about them. They can read their descriptions, or they can talk about it ad lib and share places they went over this summer, do a show and tell and talk about their European trip with their parents. Students can talk about where they're going after COVID. Again, and if you're doing a novel study, you can talk about all the places in a book. If you're a history teacher, talk about various battlefields, which I've done before. It's just a great tool. It's simple. It's easy. You can see within 20, 30 minutes, anybody can pick this up. I did it with elementary students. As a literacy coach, I've worked with this at middle school and high school levels. So I don't think it's out of anyone's reach. I don't think it's a huge time constraint. I think it's just a fun little tool that will get us thinking a little bit differently and ultimately get us back out of the classroom. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you'll have a great day of learning.